Alright, everybody. So you may have noticed some changes to my channel. It used to be called Nobu Art. Logo here, maybe. And now it's called Kee Design. Here's the logo. Um, and yeah, I didn't really explain that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about why the name changed, what's going on in my brand, and what some upcoming things to this channel are going to be. What types of content can you expect in the future, and a short overview of what my new brand is. And yeah, all right. So here we are. Here's the new logo. You've probably seen it before. Kee Design, brand style 3.0. Basically what that means is this is the third iteration of this branding style that I've done, and I've typically used it for my graphic design stuff, for my professional graphic design portfolio and that sort of thing. And initially I had wanted to keep these two brands kind of separate, but just to simplify things and for a variety of other reasons, I'm integrating the brands. So yeah, I mean, that's the catalyst behind the change. We'll get back to that on the last slide here, but let's move on to kind of the color range of this. And so here are the different colors in the logos. The background colors you see here are just for kind of complementary, backgrounds. These colors in the backgrounds aren't included within the brand style. It's just these main colors here. And the reason why there are so many is exactly what it says here, for a variety of uses. For example, one of the ways I've been using the different colored logos is I've been using the red one for like YouTube and Facebook and stuff, and I've been using like this orange one for Instagram, and then like the purple one for Pinterest, and the blue one for Tumblr. And it's just kind of a way to differentiate things within the brand while keeping them in the same spectrum. And just because going through my portfolio in the past, one of the things that has kept being a thing that people would bring up is that I tend to use the same three colors over and over again. And those colors were the primary colors of my old brand style. And I wanted to expand the palette a bit and move away just from using the same colors all the time. The colors in question, and some people will get picky with this, and I guess maybe as you should, and say, okay, well, two of these aren't colors necessarily, but it was I used a lot of white, a lot of black, and a lot of red. And obviously, you could say that white and black aren't technically colors. Okay, whatever. Point is, for the purposes of the palette, which is call them colors, and I'm going to be using those colors a lot still, but I wanted to give myself some more flexibility. That's kind of boring, in particular to what I'm talking about with this YouTube channel, so we'll move on. I might do a more in-depth video about how my branding has gone about. But basically, I had the two brands here. I had Nobu, which is what this channel was for my illustration brand, and then I had Kee Design, which is the old design brand, professional design brand. And here's the unification. So basically, everything that I was doing under Nobu and everything that I was doing under Kee Design has been moved to Kee Design, and I've got this new logo and this new system of colors and things to really kind of bring in everything under the same umbrella. And I've talked to a lot of people about this, and the conclusion that I've reached based on their feedback is that this is a good thing to do. You shouldn't necessarily be splitting your time so much between two different brands. It just makes things very awkward, and There's a lot of things that I was doing in my illustration that were bleeding over into my design work, and a lot of my design work was bleeding over into my illustration anyway, so it really just makes sense to consolidate these two things. And the one that was more professional and the one that made more brand sense was Kee Design, and that stuck. One of the big reasons, as you might know, is it's hard to tell what Nobu is. I have a whole like kind of ridiculous story behind it, and it's not something I can communicate very clearly as a brand. There's a very well-known sushi restaurant chain known as Nobu, and there's actually another artist that goes by the name of Nobu, and there could be a lot of confusion, and I didn't necessarily worry about legal ramifications so much as it was just more confusing than using my own personal name. You can really own your name, and I haven't really seen a lot of other Kee Designs out there. It's a very kind of unique space that I can own. So that's really where I'm going, and that's the whole story behind the name change. So what am I going to be doing for the YouTube channel? I'm just going to go back to the screen for this part. I didn't really prepare any more slides. Basically, it's the same thing that I've been promising for a while now in terms of upcoming for the next main video is going to be me showing you how to fix the jitter problem in Procreate. And unfortunately, something that happened to me recently is my Intuos 5 tablet broke. So I can't really do that much in terms of digital painting on the desktop anymore until I can get the money for a new tablet or get another device that I can draw on that's works with Photoshop. That really kind of limits what I can do in terms of that. So I'm going to be switching over to doing most of my digital art in terms of digital painting and digital drawing on to my iPad, primarily on Procreate. So as I learned and I love Procreate. Procreate is my favorite drawing app, so this isn't necessarily a terrible place to be. And as I learn more about Procreate and do more work in Procreate, I would like to share what I learn with all of you, and I'd like to do more videos and tutorials and just like time lapses and things from Procreate. So there's going to be a lot of Procreate and iPad centric stuff on this channel. Primarily what I want to do for this channel is make it about my digital art, and that's going to be the main focus, but I'm also really into tech in general, and in particular I've noticed there's a lot of channels on YouTube that I like where they are doing like tech coverage from the perspective of a digital artist or a designer, and I really like that content, and I think there's things that I can add in that space. So I'm going to be doing some more tech videos as well, just covering my opinions on things that are coming out, and hopefully, as I get myself into a better position in terms of a career, I can start getting things in for review maybe, and doing more reviews and things like that. And I use a ton of different drawing apps on iPad. I think I should probably do some reviews of all of those, and there's just a ton of content that I can be making in terms of the intersection between technology and art. So that's really going to be the main focus for this channel. I guess another thing that's I guess I'll finish up here with is my Patreon also changed its name, so the old Patreon links don't work, and I'll have to go through, and I'm going to go through my older videos and start changing those out. Don't really have a lot of support on Patreon right now, which is understandable. I'm a fairly unknown quantity. I don't have I don't have a lot of content out there, relatively speaking, for a lot of people, but it's still my hope that I can get some Patreon support as I become more prolific, as the quality of my work improves, and as I, can get more people, subscribe to this channel and following me on other parts of social media, and getting, into the stuff that I'm putting out there. So, as usual, if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description thing, and there's an annotation thingy, a card, I guess it's called, at the end of the video, so you can check that out. But yeah, that's changed too, and my web presence in general everywhere has changed to Thomas Kee Design, except for Twitter, because Twitter is very strange and doesn't really let you have multiple accounts without making a whole nother account and then trying to like trick it into thinking you're another person with like a different email address and stuff. It's weird. So yeah, there's a lot of places where you can follow me at Thomas Kee Design. I'll include those down below as well. And yeah, if you got to the end of this video, thanks for listening to all of this. Actually it does help people out in terms of their monetization if you watch all the way through the video, but if the content's not interesting, I wouldn't blame you if you don't watch all the way to the end. I'll try and make my content more interesting than this in the future, just so you'll have incentive to watch the entire thing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up, and next video, I mean it for real this time, is the correction video, and I've described it in the comment section already, and other people have talked about this in the comment section too, about something you can do to fix the jittering issues with Bamboo Fine Line 2 in Procreate. But yeah, that's definitely going to be in the next video. So until then, I'll see you next time. That's the thing that a lot of YouTubers say for whatever reason, and I picked that up, so bye.